So before installing the certificates on vEdge, let's try to understand what we are exactly doing here. Okay. So as you know that we have configured XCA as our certificate authority and it has a root certificate. So when initially this vEdge tries to make a contact towards vBond or vManage, right? It start using a protocol called SSL or TLS. So first of all, it sends a hello message, and then vcorp or vmanage reply the vEdge with its own identity certificate. And if you remember, we have installed it after signing the certificate signing request from XCA, right? When vEdge get the certificate, it needs to authenticate vBond or vmanage. To authenticate that vBond or vmanage, it has to have the root certificate of XCA. So first of all, in the first step, we will install the root certificate of XCA, right? Now, which is anyhow mandatory and required. The second step, we use a specific command so that this virtual vEdge router can register with vBond or vmanage, right? And to do that, basically there is a second type of authentication which this infrastructure use, and for that we need to install the serial list, which contains the serial number or the chassis ID of the vEdges, right? So we need to install, first we need to install the root certificate. Second, we need to install the serial list or serial file in vBond through vmanage. So this serial list contains actually the chassis number and the serial number of all the vEdges, right? But the problem here is we do not have a physical device. We have virtual device. In virtual device, you do not have any uh, pre-configured chassis number or serial number. So what we need to do is we need to define a chassis number on vEdge1 and of course the serial number. So once we define it, this vEdge will contain the serial number and chassis number. With those parameters, it will go to vmanage. Vmanage will ask vBond that whether this chassis number is allowed in the serial list or not. And if it is, then definitely our vEdge will be authorized. Okay. Once it is done, basically vmanage will try to install uh, uh, a device certificate of vEdge. And if you have remembered that in UI, we have selected automated way, right? So what it will do, whenever vEdge try to contact to vmanage, it will generate a CSR on behalf of vEdge. It will sign that CSR because we are making now for this CSR, vmanage a root certificate authority. It will sign that CSR. It will again install back that the device certificate into vEdge, right? It is slightly you can able to understand only this only when you have a decent knowledge of certificates, or if you have gone through my previous videos, it would be very easy to understand that what I want to say here. Okay, so third step is, which is automated. You do not need to do anything into this, and uh, the process is automated because we have selected it to be. Okay, so first of all, now let's install the root certificate. Now there are many ways to install the root certificate. Now vEdge has the connectivity with the vmanage vbond, and we already have root certificate in vmanage. We can just use the secure copy protocol to transfer that certificate from vmanage to vEdge. Or the other method is that we can simply use an editor, because what certificate is it's a set of it is just a text file, right, which contains some text. If we copy the text and paste it to vEdge, any text file, then basically we will get a certificate. You just need to have an extension of .crt, and we will using that second method. Okay, so let's go. Uh, Here we have. Okay, let me clean the board first. Here we have vEdge1. Let's log into this. As I mentioned that we can create a file, certificate file, but first of all we need to create a text file here, right, or a CRT file here. To do that, we need to go into vshell, which is a shell which will take you into the command line mode of vEdge, because anyhow it's a Linux system, right? So v shell. Now you can see we are in shell. If I do a pwd here, means what is my present working directory. So this is /home/admin, which is pretty good. Now let's create a file here. The file name is going to be vpcorp root -crt. Let's change the permission so that anyone can access it. So chmod, I am giving all the permission to read, write, execute, which means all 7, and then my file name, which is vpcorp root.crt. Now I can open this file using an editor. I'm using vi vpcorp. So you can see here, right? Now I can write here. So as you also know that I have root certificate, uh, already have root certificate for my certificate authority, and here you go. Here is the root certificate. I can open it using, say, Notepad, and if you can see, then basically it's a plain text file. Just copy the content of this file, copy, and before pasting, just press here insert mode. Why insert mode? Because you are inserting text. So here is my certificate. Let's paste it. So it's done. Press escape, exclamation mark, sorry, WQ. W is to save, Q is to quit, and then exclamation mark. Okay, so my file is saved. If I do ls-l, you can see it has content now, and I can open and check the contents again through cat vpcorp, and yes, I have the entire certificate. Now let's install the certificate. To install the certificate, we need to come out of this vshell mode. So we will do exit, and we will request the certificate to be installed. Request root cert chain. Let me see the install. And what is the next thing? It is asking for the exact file name and the location of that file, which you already know. I have put in /home admin, and the file name was vpcorp root cert, right? Let's install it. So the certificate is successfully installed. As I know that the subject name of my certificate is vpcorp, so and there must be many root certificate installed already here. So let's see what certificate I have installed just now. So show certificate root CA-cert, and then I'll pipe and include my organization name, which is VP Corp. And sure enough, I can see my certificate, right? So this is good. Now, as a part of second step, we need to install serial file, right, which contains the serial and the chassis number of all the vEdges in vManage, and vManage will eventually push it to vBond, correct? So uh, let's go to vManage, and let's go to devices. As you see, I do not have any vEdge list, but it is having the option of uploading vEdge list. So just to upload here, choose file. So I have generated this file, guys, from Cisco's smart account. I already have a smart account. I have generated few devices there. If you're not comfortable how to do that, then basically I would say that there is another video on that. So there you need to just go to your smart account. You need to create a virtual account, and then in those virtual account you just need to spin up some of the vEdges, and then it will let you download the serial file. So I have already downloaded it. uh, Project, let's go to video tag, SD-WAN, and then here you are, VP Corp, and here is the serial file, right? Open. So I am just saying, whenever I upload this, this list should be sent to all the controllers, which is mainly we want. So if you understand the logic correctly, first of all, vEdge will try to make a connection with vBond, right? vBond will check whether this vEdge is in its list or not. If it is, then the vEdge is authenticated, right? So just uh, select this checkbox, upload, and it is asking, are you sure you want to upload serial file? Of course we are, right? So let's upload it. So it is saying number of vEdges uploaded successfully 15. So I have a serial file list for 15 vEdges. Okay. Now it is basically it has applied on the vManage, and now the system is trying to push this to all other devices like vSmart, vBond, and everybody, right? And as you see, this action is already successful. So now if I go to devices, if I go to vEdge list, I could see all the vEdges, right? But now the interesting thing is we have the chassis number, but we do not have the serial number. So in the beginning, what vManage does, it generates a token, right? And with this chassis number and token, you need to, with these two values, you need to go to vEdges, and you need to tell vEdges that this is your chassis number and this is your serial number. So on the basis of these two things, vEdge um, will able to make its parameter which are not there, because those are virtual machine, nothing is there, right? We need to tell them, we need to tell vEdge that what is its chassis number. So for that there is a command, right? And what that command is, let's go to vEdge, and the command is request vEdge cloud with, okay, activate with chassis number, and chassis number is here. So let's copy it and let's paste it. Okay, and then we have token, right? So here we have token. Let's copy and paste it. So I have seen an issue mostly that if you give this chassis number in small cap, then sometime means basically it doesn't work. So please make it as a cap, all in caps. So let me convert it to all in caps. So I'm copying it to the uh, here, and in Notepad++, I'm just making all as uppercase, and that is it, right? Copy, and now we need to paste it here. Okay, something wrong. Okay, so I'll create a full command here. Copy is already here. Paste, and let's see what the token is. This one. Copy. Token doesn't need to be in uppercase, so we are good with this. Let's copy this command, paste it here, and sure enough, this command is executed. Let's see what's going on. Show control connections. Yes, we could see some control connections up. Let's see what's going on vManage. So right now, it is showing you that it has generated the certificate signing request, which is good. And now vEdge will be, and sure enough, basically this device is provisioned, if you can see, right? And if you go to main dashboard, we should see this vEdge come up, right? We should see, because the certificate is already installed, everything is already there. Still, I do not see. Let's wait for some more time. But as you can see, instead of token number, now I have uh, the serial number, right? And if I go to uh, my vEdge and do a command show control local properties, I will be seeing the certificate is installed, it is valid, and then here is my chassis number, and sure enough, I have everything up and running. So let's do the show control connection also here. Yep, the connection with both of my vSmarts and vBond is up and running, right? So no issues. So let's go to vManage UI and see whether I can see this vEdge in the dashboard. So here you go, we are in the devices vEdge list. Now let's go to main dashboard, and yes, we can see the vEdge one, right? I need to repeat the same process for vEdge 2, and let's do that also. Okay, so again, the number one step is going to be creating the certificate file. Okay, let's create the certificate file on site 2 vEdge1 admin password. This is good. Go to vshell, create a file. Okay, and the file name is vpcorp.conf. a root CA, just root, it's fine. Changing its permission so that everyone can run command which is having this file vpcorp. Then I am opening it with Vim editor. Let's copy the content of root certificate which is here. Copy, insert, insert, insert. Okay, so let's do it again. Insert and nice. Let's save the file. Let's see the content of this file once more. Get vpcorp. Yes, we can see the everything is there, whatever we need. So let's come out of the vshell mode by typing exit. Let's install the root certificate. And then it is going to ask me the location. Install, sorry. And then home, admin, vpcorp. Yeah, so it is copying, and now the certificate is successfully installed. You can again check show certificate root CA certificate pipe include my organization name, which is vpcorp. So it is good. Now the second step is we need to install the serial file, which we already have. And the third step is we need to tell this and before doing all that, if I do a show control connections or local properties to you, you will see here that of course this connection is down, but moreover you can see that the token is invalid here, no certificate is installed, right? So this is good. Now let's activate this vEdge, right, by assigning it as chassis number. So to do that, we have this command, right? And we will change the these two numbers with the second vEdge in my vEdge list. So I'm going to vmanage. Let's go to devices. Here you go. We have chassis number. Slightly open it so that I can copy it effectively. Okay, so here you go. We have chassis number. I'll copy the chassis number. Chassis number to here. Then my token. Okay. Here you go. Now let's copy it and go to vEdge1 site 2. But before that, there's one issue, right? I haven't made chassis number in caps. So let's uppercase it. And sure enough, now you can copy. Let's paste it. Nice. So let's check once again. Everything is fine with respect to number. Yeah, and 455. Yes. So this is good. Here, uh, the process is initiated. Now let's do show control local properties. Okay, so it is still showing this one, and I still don't get any certificate. But serial number is token is invalid, and serial number is already installed, so certificate is valid. So everything I could see here, and yes, the the connection is also up. So if I do show control connection, I should see 3 control connection towards 2 of my vSmart and 1 with vBond, right? So show control connections, and yes, I could see 2 with vSmart, 1 with vBond, 1 with vManage. This is absolutely great, right? So let's see what's going on in vManage. So here the second cloud edge vEdge router is activated, which is good. And you can see serial number instead of token, which proves that uh, basically my I have made means basically vEdges are ready, and those are authenticated with respect to the controllers. If you go to certificates, and you can see here basically host name, IP address, whatever we have configured for these devices, right? This is the system IP address, and this is good. So let's go to a main dashboard. Also, we should see 2 vEdges, and then control connections are 4, right? If you could see here, this looks good. Another thing I would like to show you is if you go to devices, there is another cool thing here. If you click on these 3 dots and click on this device bring up, then it is showing you data plane connectivity is established, router configuration done, everything is done, right? It's a really good and cool pictorial representation of what we have done till now. Okay, so till now what we have done is if I show you on topology, everything is up and running for me, right? What is the meaning of everything? See here, all these controllers are up and running. Uh, Infrastructure for routing is up and running, right? vEdges have already been authenticated and are already part of SD-WAN. The site is up and running, right? But right now the problem is, as you know, that the vEdge has 2 sites, right? The top one is the transport one, and the below one is the service one. I haven't configured gig 0/1 of this interface, right? So when I configure this, I will see this route, this subnet as a connected subnet in vEdge, right? And then what I need to do is I just need to advertise, and it happens on its own. So whatever the connected subnets are, you just need to specify that whether you want to advertise them in SD-WAN or not. Once you configure this, these connected subnet will be advertised over Fabric, right? So right now, there is a data plane connectivity between vEdge1 and vEdge2. It means that these guys have made a IPsec tunnel already, and to traverse and to talk directly means site user 1 and site user 2 can talk directly if we can give if we give gigabit 0/1 interface of this vEdge1 an IP address, and we can do this manually. We can do this through templates, and yes, let's do it through templates, because that way we will learn templates also. So we will configure the service side of these 2 vEdges by using templates. Once it is done, this route 10.1.2.0 will be advertised to vEdge1, and the route 10.1.1.0/24 will be advertised to site 2 vEdge1, right? Once it is done, Then basically we can ping between these two sites. And then our first goal of connecting two sites over SD-WAN will be completed. Then we can extend this lab. We can include data center, we can include firewall, and learn some advanced concepts like direct internet connection, right? And we will also include other transports also, right? Right now you can see only there is one transport, which is the internet, right? We should means if you want to learn this technology effectively, we should have more than one transport. We should have more than a few sites, right? So the other concept like service chaining, direct internet access, and those other things we will be learning, and we will be extending this lab. Okay.